Hey guys, it's Rob. 480 days until I turn 30, and it's not the greatest news today. So I'm trying to figure out how to kind of address what's not going well. Let's go ahead and look at the check-in. Managed to put another pound on based on some additional bad decision making lately. I just barely got 400 words in that short story. Haven't touched my submission for Wordhaus. I would say, this recent span, he says as he drops his marker board, this recent span is probably the biggest backslide in weight loss and perpetual, you know, slog in writing that I've had in the entire span of this project. And it's been very demoralizing. I don't have anywhere external to put the blame for that, really, in my opinion. Um, Obviously, the recent events accounted for 1 week of falling off the wagon, but certainly not two. And all put together, I'm getting a little down on myself because I I always thought I could bounce back more quickly than I'm bouncing back now, that I thought I could get things under control. On the writing front, I sat down in front of the short story, the thing that's at about 8,000 words, and I think I was looking at it for about the better part of 8 hours, but barely any of that time was writing, just because I was banging my head against a wall and had written myself into a corner. And I think as I'm doing this post mortem on these past few days of not getting very far, what I should have done is boxed that up and worked on one of the other 3 or 4 things I could have been working on. Whether it's the super short story for Wordhaus, whether it's doing the editing, I'm exchanging editing with one of my beta readers. I need to read and edit her material. Or whether it's just taking my current beta reading edits that she got back to me, and even though I don't have the second beta reader's edits, going straight into the long young adult novel. But instead of doing any of those things, I basically just sat here and stared at the short story piece that I'm working on right now. So I've taken that short story piece and I've passed it off to a friend and asked for his input. And I'm basically going to box that up for the time being. I'm going to redirect my efforts back toward the young adult novel largely. I will try to get those other 2 things done just this week, over this weekend, prior to starting the novel in earnest again, as far as implementing edits and stuff. But basically, the thing that's at about 8,000 words just needs to sit for a while. I thought I could power through it and get that out for beta reading prior to going back to my edits, such that I would be able to have that out and being looked at while I edited. Not going to be the case. It's turning out to be a bigger deal to try and write than I thought it would be. And it's certainly interesting enough. I don't want to scrap it as is, but I'm struggling a great deal with it. Maybe it's dramatically unlike what I'm accustomed to, but I would like to try to finish it. 8,000 words feels like a lot of words to throw away. I know it's not much in the grand scheme, but so there's that. But yeah, I struggled for how to come to you tonight, the audience here, and just recognizing that this accounts for a great deal of backpedaling and falling apart. I set aside the writing at about 9 p.m. And I'm recording this approaching 11, and I literally just had to go out and walk and just vent, and because if I would have recorded this episode immediately after I'd stopped writing, I would not have been able to come here to record this with any sort of constructive attitude. The moment I stopped writing, I literally just wanted to come here, show you the update, and tell you to get out of here, and not be even remotely constructive about it. So I'm glad I took that little bit of time. and hopefully this still gets to be a valuable episode. I've said in previous episodes where things fell apart is that hopefully when we get to the final episode, when I turn 30 in June of 2014, we can look back on this and say, you know, it was dark at times. It was a struggle at times to make myself do all this, to improve myself. But that on the other side, we see, you know, great results. I hope that's what I get to say to you guys a year and 4 months from now, or whatever it is. So there's that. There's the weight loss stuff, which is a continuous mismanagement that I've just let overflow from a weekend or a week of finding comfort in that kind of stuff, and then just not push myself to stay on top of things. So on all those fronts, having dropped the ball, I've canceled some plans this weekend, and really just boxed up plans for fun weekend stuff, and put those aside and said, look, I'm gonna stay in and try to work on things and show some constructive stuff. I would really like to be able to say to you on Monday that I just busted out of this rut and shattered expectations on Monday. I would love to have this weekend be, I'd like to come out of this weekend with evidence that I'm not just out of the game yet, so to speak. So that's kind of my thought process right now. It's tough. Like I am tempted to, part of me just wants to be, completely down on myself, and the other part wants to say, oh, be gentle on yourself, whatever, this kind of stuff happens. And you, as people watching me, may, some of you may look at this and say, oh, he's curling up into a ball and whining, and others of you might say, oh man, I feel sorry for him. So I don't know necessarily what reactions you guys are having, or what fraction of the audience is doing any given thing, but it's one of those weird relative things. I don't know what I need to hear the most right now. I don't know whether I need to hear more, hey, it's going to be all right, or more, suck it up and deal. I feel like the mood I'm in at this very moment, if I hear suck it up and deal, I'm likely to say, well, I was tempted to just say something super vulgar, but I'm not. But to just, to be like, hey, take it somewhere else, leave me alone. I am in this state where I'm like, don't question me, I guess. So if I were to receive that kind of feedback, I would probably get a little hostile. This is Self-Analysis Live. So yeah, I don't know what would be better for me. I don't know what's going to be more constructive for me. But like I said, what I am going to do is take the current writing project, set it aside, get some feedback on it, get more eyes on it, try to break out of that later, and in the meantime work on things that I probably should have just jumped on over to, instead of beating my head against a wall all day today and getting super frustrated. So that's that. I hope that suffices as a comprehensible battle plan. I know it came out a little rambly, but it is, believe me, it's more constructive than I felt an hour and a half ago. So yeah. I hope to see you on Monday with good news. I hope you're having a happy Valentine's Day out there and having loads of fun, whether you're single, coupled, or whatever. Hope you're feeling happy today. I am gonna decompress a little more. I can tell I'm still wound up, even just now talking to you guys. The attitude I'm in is still like pretty wound up over it. And I hope to have really great news for you on Monday. But yeah, it's a little struggly right now. It's not the greatest. yeah, I'm out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on Monday.